Yo, what's up trainers, welcome back to a new video, and in today's video we're going to be diving into the Master League Premier Cup, and none other than Shundo Metagross we are going to use, as well as Shundo GYARADOS, which I also have, and to cover up or close up this team, I'm also going to use my HAXORUS, which I also got in a lucky trade. So all lucky Pokemon, where two of them are Slundos, which is going to be Shundo and Lucky, where I got really fortunate, obviously. And today's video is all in is all requested by one of my subs, so many thanks for that submission. And without further ado, let's hop into these matches, because today's battles are going to be a special one, because I went on a 9-1 run with this team. So also many thanks to the trainer who submitted this Pokemon, because it helped me out so much this session. We climbed up to almost 2650, almost at 2700, which is really nice. You will see it right now. So without further ado, let's hop into these matches, where in the first game we lead a Waterfall Primarina, and Primarina is actually sort of like a tough Pokemon to see, but honestly on the lead is where we want to see it. And here they make a nice catch, but honestly it doesn't really matter too much, because at this point I can just easily commit one shield here. I'm not even going to do so, because I'm probably reading that they have another steel type in the back, as they are trying to catch that on the Excadrill. So at this point I'm thinking that they probably have another steel type in the back, which obviously is going to be that Metagross, if I'm reading that right. And honestly they can throw here, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna let it go and believe that my Gyarados is going to be finishing or sweeping this end game. And what do they have in the back? Obviously it's going to be that double steel type, so this game is over. There's nothing they can do, and they know, so they're gonna top left. Alrighty, next game. By the way, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to be part of my videos as well, make sure to react to the next question, which is going to be next Wednesday, where I ask my subscribers what do they want to see next week, and I might use your submission if you have the most likes or whatsoever, or you are popular by other trainers, voted or whatsoever, then I might use your submission. So make sure to react on those questions, because I like to see that as well. So here I'm gonna say swap into my Gyarados, and what do they have? They got the what's it called, Magnezone, as a good response, but they make a huge mistake giving me a shield, because they play into CMP. We actually win CMP here, which is really important. And now this is going to set up a nice farm for my HAXORUS, and I don't really have to shield at this point, because even though it's going to be a wild charge, it is going to be resisted. And now they're gonna come back in with their Machamp, which is going to tell me that they have a whatever is going to be weak against something in the against counter, meaning that an Earthquake I think will be also very helpful on the Metagross here. So now let's see what do they have in the back. I'm gonna swap instantly to make sure that we get that advantage, and we already had some nice energy, because now 2 Meteor Meshes is going to be enough to seal the deal for us, because there's basically nothing with a shield up against the whole meta, where a Metagross is not going to sweep this game. And we're gonna easily shield. Their only win con is going straight for the superpower, and me not shielding, calling the bait. But we don't have to, because we can easily go for double Meteor Mesh, shoot up once, and then farm that HAXORUS, which is or the Machamp, which is in the back. We can farm it down, and they know, and they're gonna top left. Alrighty, next game. So we got a Gyarados on the lead. Obviously this is kind of like a tough matchup for us, as we are not hitting them for super effective damage or whatsoever. We are actually hitting them for resistant damage, of course. Here I tried to get the catch of the crunch, but they're gonna throw anyways, which is fine. But now we do have some nice energy on our Metagross lurking in the back right now, and let's see how they're gonna replay this game out. They also got a shiny, I don't know if it's going to be a Shundo. Looking at the CP, it might be. So two Shundos playing against each other right now. Mine is not best buddy, or it is best buddied, but I don't have it on, as you can see. That's why their CP is higher. Also, I got ranked by a mate. That's why the footage in this battle only is a bit cut out, but it doesn't really matter because I farmed them down with the HP they had left. They threw one crunch, and now we're gonna go for the move, the earthquake, which is gonna give us shield advantage, which is going to be very, very helpful. Here I'm going to shield up because the drill run is going to do a lot of damage against us, and I'll look at that, what are they going to do. They're gonna swap here. They didn't swap, but they're probably gonna swap afterwards. Here I'm gonna go for the Night Slash, making sure that we get rid of the XK. And what do they have in the back? It's going to be another steel type. Again, the Metagross, and HAXORUS likes to eat Metagrosses for days. Just in general, because with the raw counter damage, which is going to add up, there's nothing they can really do, even though we're gonna go for the breaking swipe here, making sure that they get the debuff. But we can easily shield up this move. They're not at a move on their XK. Farm them all the way down here, and then farm them all the way down as well with the HAXORUS, and they know. Alrighty, GG's. So today's battles, I really had a lot of fun using this team. Honestly, the biggest core breaker for this team is going to be the XK on the lead. Once you see the XK on the lead, it's kind of like tough to play around, because in general feels like you get hard countered with those teams where they have a fairy type lurking in the back, such as the Florgas. With the save swap of GYARADOS, you in general are able to lure those one out, meaning that there is some potential of your HAXORUS sweeping because that fairy type is gone. But in general, it is kind of like a tough matchup where you have the when you face the XK on the lead. So in this game, I actually make a slight mistake by shielding up this move, not counting well where they're gonna throw the Aqua Tail. I could have easily survived that one and just farmed them all the way down, leaving with a move to threaten that XK if they want to come in. But now things have changed a bit, which is unfortunate for me, but honestly there's still hope where we can win this one. And now let's see if we can actually get a shield back, or are they going to let this one go? They're actually gonna let this one go, which is fine because that does a lot of damage. Basically, that XK is now gone off of the field because the raw counter damage we can output with the HAXORUS. We don't really have to worry about that one too often, so I'm just gonna come in with my HAXORUS and they come in with their own. So at this point we have a slight advantage, but I don't know why I didn't throw immediately. I think I lagged a bit, to be honest, because look at this, it's not even a CMP, which is really unfortunate, because I swapped in straight away, so meaning that I was probably one turn ahead. But yeah, that's really unfortunate. Now here I'm just gonna throw straight away, and we get the catch. So I'm not gonna throw straight away, but I'm gonna try to catch, which we do, which is perfect, because now this is going to help us out winning us this end game, I think. Now let's see, we gotta go for the move here. They either have to shoot up this move or they're gonna let this go and trust in the XK, but XK does not have enough HP to win this game for them. Here they're gonna swap, and they actually are gonna throw their move, which is fine. So now it's gonna come down to a CMP tie, because they're at the move, we are at the move, and now let's see who's going to win this. We get it, and that is going to be a GG. Very well played. So even though we made this one closer than it should have been, we still won that game by winning CMP in the end, which is a bit of luck on our side, but yeah, you sometimes need those, right? So in the next game we got HAXORUS on the lead, which is not a favorable lead for us. They can easily go for a Night Slash, shoot up once, and farm us down. But on the other hand, we can let one go for a move, and then take them out. So they basically are they are forced to shield in this situation, where we can easily now swap out and see whatever fairy type is lurking in the back, where we can output or just make sure that we have a lot of pressure on them, and also lure them out so that our own HAXORUS doesn't have to see it. So they actually respawn with a Ursaluna, which is nice. I always love to see Ursaluna in the Master League because I just think it's a cool Pokemon. I don't have one myself, unfortunately, but this is still a matchup where we can output some damage, unless they have the Thunder Punch or Ice Punch, where they will easily farm us down afterwards. They have the Thunder Punch, so that's going to straight KO us, which is fine, but this time it also gives us an opportunity to farm them all the way down. And I'm feeling that they are running double punch, so I'm just gonna shoot up this one, and it was indeed an Ice Punch, which we can survive, but it does a lot of damage. And now we have a lot of HP and a lot of energy left on our HAXORUS. And what do they have in the back? It is going to be yet another Metagross. And honestly, at this point where we have so much energy advantage, this game is just over. We can just go straight away for another Night Slash. I'm just gonna go for another one straight away after this one, just to make sure that we get rid of this this Metagross, but they swap out actually, so now I'm just gonna go for another Night Slash. I should have went for the Breaking Swipe, but honestly it doesn't really matter too much. We get the unnecessary boost as well, and that is going to be yet another one. GG in the chat, and yeah, that's going to be it for that game. And now we face off a Magnezone on the lead, and Magnezone is going to be a tough Pokemon for us, but honestly we got the answers for it in the back, or just one answer to be honest, the HAXORUS. Obviously GYARADOS doesn't want to see it, so we're kind of like forced to stay in, but here I'm just gonna farm up and go for the Earthquake straight away, making sure that we either get shield advantage or switch advantage. And they actually decide to let it go, which is perfect. So now they're gonna come in with their GYARADOS, and I'm just gonna stay in, making sure that we keep the alignment. I'm just gonna hope that whatever is going to be in the back, my HAXORUS can face off really, and the Metagross right now is doing absolute all the work it has to do by putting that GYARADOS halfway into the yellows already, where we can now easily just come in and soak up all the energy and basically make sure that we leave with maybe some with a move loaded or whatsoever. So now they're gonna throw their second Crunch, which is fine, and after this I might even swap out, I'm not too sure. No, I'm actually decide to stay in, and I'm gonna go for the Aqua Tail here. Now let's see what do they have in the back. If it is a fairy, we are basically done because we didn't swap out, but they actually decide to shoot up that move. And what do they have in the back? It is a fairy indeed. Now this is Primarina with Waterfall, so that is actually not too bad for us. Now let's see if we can actually finish this game off by going straight away for all the Breaking Swipes we can get. We have shield advantage, so we have to make use of that obviously by shooting up all the moves they're gonna throw. And look at that damage from the resisted Breaking Swipe. We're actually outputting some damage, and they're actually gonna start to get very low as they are already in the yellow. And after this they will probably get into the red. Now I'm just gonna throw here. That's good timing as well at the end of their fast move animation. Keep that in mind if you want to improve your gameplay, because that can be very crucial in certain situations. So here I'm just gonna farm or shoot up this move, because that Aqua Tail which they have loaded on their GYARADOS is not going to cut it for them. And I'm actually gonna swap here, and we get the farm down. Now I actually want to die with the move, to be honest, or let them take me out, but here we can farm them down before they reach, which is beautiful. So we actually got that one against a Primarina. So next game we got the Avalok on the lead, which is a good lead for us, but honestly they're staying in. And looking at this game right now, this is the one I'm going to lose. Spoiler alert, sorry for that. But honestly, I want to tell you that here they played it very well, and I played this team actually afterwards as well, and then I won. Just because I had to basically defend my Metagross way more than I did in this game. As you can see, it is already in the red, almost in the red, where they did landed one Crunch, and I actually should have just shielded up that move. Because now they're going to let that one go, and they're gonna come in with their GYARADOS, which is going to be a Waterfall as well. So at this point I should have just also, or straight away, went into my own GYARADOS, because it was Waterfall GYARADOS for my HAXORUS. Looking back at it right now, yeah, so I didn't really play this one the way I should have, because now they have a Florges in the back and that Metagross is gone. And yeah, this is going to be a tough one, because we cannot output a lot of damage with the Aqua Tail. They're actually gonna decide to shoot at that move straight away, which is fine. But now let's see if we can still manage. I already spoiled it, so you know the answer, but still, let's see how much damage we can output on this one. And as you can see, I'm just gonna shoot up, or not shoot up this move, I'm just gonna let it go, because I know it is going to be well, tough for me to come back from. Even though we got 2 more shields, they can just straight away go for Disarming Voice. As you can see, it did quite a lot of damage as well, and they just need 2 more, adding up with a Fairy Wind damage, and that would be enough to get us down. And we cannot hit them for any good damage here. I'm also trying to catch, no, not just yet. So I'm just gonna let this one go, hoping that we might get it with the HAXORUS, because they were already at the back-to-back with the Disarming Voice, and right now they're almost at the back-to-back once again. So yeah, there's not a lot we can do. They actually decide to swap back into their GYARADOS as well to soak up all the energy, where I'm just gonna undercharge it a bit, because I know they were gonna reach anyways. Now let's see, what did they reach? Did they reach the Earthquake or the Crunch, or they have the Outrage as well? So if it wasn't over just yet, it is over right now, which is a bit unfortunate. But as you can see, I should have just swapped out in the beginning, because they stayed in onto my Metagross, which is always a sign that they might be weak in the back as well, which is unfortunate. So here my opponent swaps into a Dragon Tail Garchomp. So Dragon Tail Garchomp obviously is a Pokemon which can win this matchup if I miss-shield some of the moves they throw. So starting off with the first one, I miss-shield that one because it's going to be a Centum, which is really stupid from me. But honestly, they shield up back, which is fine. And at this point, we get the defense drop as well. We can easily find them all the way down, because I think this is only going to be another Centum, and we will be able to survive 1 or 2 more Dragon Tails before they take us out. 2 more Dragon Tails would have been enough to KO us, but we outpace them with our raw damage from the Dragon Breath, which is absolutely perfect, because now they will only get 1 more charm, and then they will take us out. We can output some damage as well, and now we're just gonna come in and lock and load that one. And what do they have in the back? It's a Waterfall Gyarados. So once again, a situation where HAXORUS is just going to town and finish off this Gyarados, because that breaking swipe damage is obviously so good, and it helps HAXORUS becoming just such a good mon right now. They have Crunch on it as well, which is fine. They get the defense drop, but obviously it doesn't really matter. We can go for another breaking swipe as soon as we get there. Landing this will either get the KO or get the shield. And they're actually gonna shield, which is fine. At this point, I don't really have to shield. They're 2 stages debuffed. But I actually decided to shield up anyways, because it doesn't really matter. If they reach a move on their Togekiss, looking at the timer, I also know that I can swap out after this one as well. Meaning that there's basically no chance for them winning. And we're gonna go for the move. But they know, and they're gonna top left as well. So, next game. In the next game, we got a X-Ka on the lead. So X-Ka, as I said before, is basically, I think, one of the few core breakers as I can think of right now. Here I'm trying to catch the move. I don't know if I did catch it, which is going to be really unfortunate if I didn't. But yeah, I didn't, which is unfortunate, because in general they now like to swap into their own Gyarados. But this one is actually deciding to go for another move, forcing us to either shield or go down. But because my switch timer is not yet up, I didn't want to let my Gyarados go down, because if I come then in with my HAXORUS, they can easily hard lock it down with, for example, a Fairy type, which is really unfortunate. So they actually decided to stay in this matchup, which is fine, and also helps me out, because this will allow us to get all shields down, which is a bit more advantageous, because we have a big energy lead on our Metagross, right? And that is going to help us out in this end game, to be honest, because now I can just easily come in with my HAXORUS, making sure that we load up onto some energy. And depending on what they have in the back, there's not a lot, as I said before, except for maybe the Gyarados in general, that can actually output or resist all the moves that we throw. And we go here for the move on CMP tie. I should have went for the Night Slash, hoping to get that boost as well. And what do they have in the back is going to be that hard Fairy lockdown and a HAXORUS. But because of the fact that we swapped in so early, there's just nothing they can do. And I don't know why my opponent didn't just come in with their Fairy type, looking back at it right now against our HAXORUS. But honestly, that still would have been a situation where we could won that game, just looking back at it, because if we swap in faster with our own HAXORUS against theirs, we would have been a turn ahead in the end game, where we probably still would have won that game, to be honest, or had a good chance of winning that one, because now we can easily go for the move and farm them all the way down before they even reach. So Metagross once again going to town. So, this is going to be the final battle of this video, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. It would help me out a lot. I want to reach 1,000, which is going okay-ish. Last few weeks I haven't seen that many subscriptions, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it happens. So, would be nice if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed just yet, to hit that subscribe button just right now. And now let's see, what do we have now. We're gonna swap into our Gyarados, and this is exactly what I said about the previous game, where you can just hard lock or hard lock that save swap of the Gyarados with a Fairy type, because we can just only go for the Aqua Tail, which is an alright move, but it's obviously not hitting that hard. Where the Crunch would hit a bit harder, but it's going to be resisted, so we are forced to go for those Aqua Tails. and here my opponent is going to throw, which is also a good play by them, because now we're not gonna make any attempt of realigning and getting switch. But we do get a nice farm down, which is going to be very advantageous as well for us in this game, because now if they come in with the Gyarados, where we can take one move, it all depends what they have in the back, because that fairy type has just been gone. I didn't see what the lead Pokemon was, to be honest, because I was commentating into the camera. But now they're gonna actually decide to shoot up this move, and what do they have in the back is going to be that Primarima. So this is going to be a tough one as well, but how well can HAXORUS do in this situation? Now let's see and let's find out if we can still manage to win this game. We're gonna go for a breaking swipe all the way. We want to debuff our opponent as soon as we get there, just making sure that if they get to the water type or the disarming voice, it's going to do absolutely no damage. So here I'm just gonna shoot up, because I need to shoot up at some point, and my Metagross is quite low. Just gonna go for another breaking swipe, and now at this point there are 3 stages debuffed, and this might help me out in the end game. And I'm just gonna go swap in aggressively, and my opponent makes a huge mistake, because right now they either have to shield up this move or they're gonna get taken out, and they decide to get taken out, and now my fast move is going to win it from theirs, and we take those. I didn't expect that one to still be a W for us, but we got it. And yeah, that is it. That's it for the video today. As again, we did a request by one of our subscribers, which was going to be that Shadow, or I keep saying Shadow, but I mean that Shundo Metagross, and I combined it with my Shundo GYARADOS. So feel free to like this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe as well, and I will see you trainers in the next video. Peace.